Welcome to the Senior Home Business Channel. My name is Matt. Just about every day I cover information about senior living, self-improvement, and how to make money. Today I got a special treat for you. I got one of my students who's been with me for about a year now. She has 2 agencies. She kills it. She will go through today how she acquires leads, how she runs her business, what does she do day to day operations, and all that good stuff. And I just want you to pay attention. And I wanted to bring this to you today because every day in the academy, what makes our academy different is that it's more of a community than it is an online course. Now, the online piece, you get 21 modules and the bonus videos, strategy videos, all the documentation and virtual tours, all that stuff, right? But the community part of it is every day I do a coaching session with my students. And I mean every day. That's 7 days a week. They have direct access with me. They can call me, text me. I'm here for them. So I wanted you to hear right from Brittany in terms of how she runs her business. And I want to encourage you today to think about starting a senior referral business. If that's you, go and click the link below. Listen to a 15-minute webinar if you want to. You know I hate those things, but I got one down below. Go to seniorhomebusiness.com. You can listen to the webinar, or somewhere on the screen throughout this video, you'll see my number. That is my actual number. You could text or call me. I would love to hear from you. Let's get into the video. Brittany, welcome to the live. And I want to bring you on. Tell us a little bit about, give us an update on your business. What's going on?
Yeah, so I have 2 businesses technically. I run in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, and St. Louis, Missouri area. So they're going great. My St. Louis market is taking off. That was my second one that I started. Kind of almost at the same time though, as you know, like it came quick. After joining the academy. So it's going super well. I'm actually in Missouri now. I just drove here last night. So I'm here for a week, networking and I've got 4 families to tour with this week. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, did I say it correctly? I think you came into the academy, you and Trey, January of last year. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are on your 1-year anniversary being in the academy. And I know you have some family. You're originally from Missouri. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep. So we both moved after I graduated college and things like, yeah. So we both.
Okay. So you had some connections. You had some people you knew, obviously. But man, what has it been like to juggle 2 agencies? That's what I want to know, because there's people out there, man, they're trying to juggle one. They're like, my gosh, Texas and Missouri? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's been crazy, but it's also kind of been beneficial because I can see what's working in one market and try to take it, to my other market. It's 2 different markets. I'm working with 7 million people in one, and I'm working with like 500,000 in another. So completely
right.
different markets. However, both markets, location's huge. I know we talked about that your location isn't as important, but here and in Texas it is. So I think it's been crazy. My mom works for me here. She works full time.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to bring on another person. I have a meeting at the college with the social services kids and going to see if one might want to do like an internship kind of gig with me and do some tours. So I think I started kind of maybe not doing I didn't, but I thought about maybe taking that in person out, but I just think it has so much value that I can't give that up. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So I've worked the leads, even with my mom. She's not like full reign on leads yet. I've worked them. And then when it's time for a tour, we've kind of done the past, created that relationship. I brought her in. So, but yeah, both are going good. It's crazy, but like I said, it's kind of beneficial to be able to take what I'm learning from one and then just implement it in the other. So that's
definitely. And tell us a little bit about, are you seeing similarities between the 2 and how you develop leads, or is it very different from place to place?
It's about the same. I've got a couple social workers locked down here in Missouri where I'm getting consistent weekly discharge leads from. I do a lot of Medicaid kind of. I don't work, I give information a lot. I'm starting to get to the point I put together like a packet where I'm just going to start sending to people because I literally called SNFs to try to find Medicaid placement to help, build that reputation. So to get away a little bit from that, but still work that, because like you had mentioned, if I have a Medicaid lead, I actually get into more places by just having that person, to have conversations with other people in my network. So I'm getting really good leads from in-home care companies. I gave a lead to an in-home care company here, and he's spending like $12,000 a month. So ever since I did that, they're like feeding
Oh,
me.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So I got in that way. But
Networking. I love that. I mean, obviously he or she appreciated the $12,000 lead, but it's kind of like, man, this agency, this person is true to their word. They really want to benefit me, because what I see a lot of times, Brittany, is people, they start getting out and letting people know about their business. It becomes a one-way street. Here's my name. Here's my card. Call me if you need me. If you have anything for me, call me. And I think it really should be the other way around, just like you did. What can you do to benefit someone else? What can you do to add value to someone else? Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, even with real estate, that's another way I've gotten leads. The market is, people are selling and moving. And also I kind of got it from a birdie, but I see real estate agents actually tapping into senior living. I don't know if you're seeing it where you're at, but they're realizing the baby boomers, they're seeing what's going on. They're saying they place people, but they're not doing what we do for free. I mean,
right.
No one's really going to do that.
They're
not doing what we're
right. Yeah.
So they're marketing to the ALFs. Like I have people going in and, handing their cards to ALFs and saying, hey, if people need to sell their home to move in here. So what I did for them, instead of saying, I have a couple that I've referred my clients to because they kind of work with seniors or their ex-therapist or whatever. But the fact that I'm able to say, if you have someone on the fence, like I'm not ready to sell my house yet, I might be, I don't know. I can come in and kind of, bridge that gap. Here's independent living, here's assisted living, kind of educate their clients on, you can go to wineries and happy hours and, for independent living, just kind of show them like maybe downsize and make that move. So instead of saying, I'm going to bring you a bunch of homes that you can, sell, I'm more saying like, I can help bridge that gap if they're stuck and not willing to put their house on the market yet. So.
Oh, beautiful. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with social workers, social service directors, because you mentioned something about, you might get some of those Medicaid, you might get those low income leads. And it's a strategy that I came up with. And I don't know if it originated with me. It's like, I believe the Bible, and it says nothing's new under the sun. Somebody probably started that way back when, but I kind of figured it out early on. And again, it's that whole premise of adding value to somebody. And Charmaine, my marketing director, just did that last week. She had someone that was a hard placement. It was, I don't know if you listen to some of the lives, where it was a skilled nursing that I have never penetrated. I've probably moved a half dozen residents out of the skilled nursing facility, that particular one, only through other means, like my market, our people I was networking with. But she got in there and started knowing the social service director, the discharge planner, and it came all out of helping someone they could not place themselves. So talk about the importance of that.
Yeah. So I've done some interesting cases that I never thought that I would come across. And I've done hours of, we call it free work, but again, we're here for the seniors. I firmly believe that. I've worked in, senior living for years, and I just love old people. So that's just what it comes down to. So I have done quite a bit of free work, if you want to call it, with Medicaid, and it's kind of wrapped back around. There is a point where I think I've never asked for a lead. I've never called and asked for a lead. I've built the relationship. I've dropped marketing bags off. I have little trifold flyers, and I've brought them coffee and done all the, the little stuff like that. I've never asked for a lead, but they started giving me Medicaid first. I kind of had to have that. I didn't have a conversation. I alluded to the fact they were only giving me Medicaid really hard. Leads. They weren't giving me anything. And I knew that they were discharging private pay clients out of this very high-end skilled nursing rehab. Right. So we had that conversation, but not really. I kind of just implied it. So I'm still getting Medicaid leads from her, but I'm also getting now private pay leads, $5,000, $6,000 a month ALFs. So I will say social workers they're harder than I think anything that I've had to market with. As we know, they're busy, and they switch so quick. By the time you build a relationship, the next one's in. That's some pros there, because if someone's exclusive, another placement agency, you can slide in there. But I've done the cold calling and just creating relationships and putting my name out there and seeing how I can help them. But it has been the hardest for me to get. It took me 9 months to get the relationship with one, and she quit a month later. So then I got the new one. Yeah. I got the new one, thankfully, because she passed my info. So I have a kind of an advantage in Missouri. I'm the only local placement agency in St. Charles County, which is where I grew up. So there's no local, there's a couple franchises, but they can't come over here because they have territories. So I'm the only local one, which again, I don't see others as competition, but the social workers have not been bombarded with placement agencies.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. When you call a social worker, not to put you on the spot, just off the top of your head, when you call a social worker that you've never met, because I'm trying to figure out some ways to help the other students as well. There's a lot of students that are doing fantastic. Again, some just started and some might be terrified to call somebody brand new. They don't know. They're going through this whole thing of lockdowns in some areas and some communities. I got some skilled nursing in my areas have lockdown. So you really can't gain entrance, right? You go to the building, they're going to stop you, right? For the most part. So what would be your lead in once you get the social worker on the phone? And again, not to put you on the spot, but I guess I am. What would you say to them?
I do say my name, who I'm with. I don't go in like a 30-second spiel about what I do. Now, because I do have a little bit of advantage, I know the communities. So I'm able to say, like, for example, I called one. I had a really great ALF with an opening, never happened. So I was able to kind of open with that and say, how can I help you? Just wanted to let you know I have some information, some value to give them. That wasn't my exact words, but I said, basically, this is my name. This is who I'm with. I'm a local. I say where I'm at because here in this area, it's all about who you know. Anyway, so it's just a little smaller. So I say, where I'm located, where I cover. And then I said if you have, just wanted to give you some information about this assisted living that, a great assisted living that has an affordable option open, but I do work with everyone, basically, is what I said. And that's how I opened it then. At the very beginning, I would say like how I can help you. I didn't go into like we save money. I didn't do that on the first call.
Yeah.
Since I was B2B sales and I still have my job, I'm big. I send them usually ask if I can just send them some information about me. That's kind of worked. I usually get a response. So I have a template, I send them my PDF and say, just to have on file, I'm here for you if you need anything in the future. And then like at the end of my email, I say, let me know you got this. And that creates like an email thread. So I can go back and just, if I have any updates, I can kind of just build that relationship from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Or I can bring them coffee outside, 5 minutes, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love how you don't give all the information at the beginning, because I think that's such a mistake for some people, whether it be sales, and various different industries, or in what we do. I love how you just call, you state your name, who you're with. And this is the reason I'm calling. Like, you gave them that value of that certain community. You let them know you work with all of them, but here's something you may not be aware of. And that's adding value, because the social workers and discharge planners, they get hit by everybody, man. They get the same thing, man, over and over again. So, okay, let's shift gears a little bit for a few minutes. And I want you to tell us a little bit about what have you seen best for as advertisement that you do? Because I think you do some stuff on Facebook. Is that right?
I don't promote it. I mean, I tried, like I did a little bit of that. I do post usually 3 to 4 times a week. I schedule it out. Like I try to do it once a week or like the beginning of the month. So I do post there. I post in some Facebook groups locally, like Senior. There's a couple local ones that I found in both Missouri and Texas. I've played around a little bit with Google Ads. We can't compete with Place for Moms. So just to try it. I'm on Nextdoor, which I don't know, like a neighborhood app.
We've got that.
Yeah. So I've posted a couple times in there. Let's see advertising paper wise, I have trifolds and business cards. My trifolds were very inexpensive. Upwork and Fiverr. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They have cheaper graphic designers in other countries that do a great job.
Fiverr actually did my logo.
Mine too.
Yes. I mean, it was like, I can't do it. I wanted they did both my logos. They did the original one you've seen. And I don't know if you've seen the other one. This is our business card now. This is actually Charmaine's. Oh yeah. So it's got that kind of thing with her on it. And we got the little slick plastic kind of thing going on.
Yeah, you're fancy. I know. I don't have that in terms.
You know what we're promoting with that plastic? Because I don't do brochures now. No offense. Okay. I mean, some people do, and I'm all for it. But this is what I told Charmaine. Her and I got together. We were talking about it. I said, what I would do is you're going into these different communities, and you give them one of our plastic business cards, right?
Yeah.
Give it to them and say, hey, we just want you to be able to sanitize everything that you give to your seniors. So you can sanitize. Now, I wish I could say I came up with that idea, but I didn't. My wife goes to the eye medical once a month, and they did that to my credit card about, I don't know, 8 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
They wiped it down. I went,
that's funny.
okay, I will use that.
I'm going to use that. Yeah. Yeah. Really, I don't use the brochures for the families, actually. So like, I haven't really passed them out to families, more so like real estate and things just to have. I have my little trifolds in like Keller Williams in one of their offices just sitting there. So that was kind of, I don't really pass them out to families, but they were inexpensive. So I went for it. Fiverr designed it for me. Facebook post. But I just like you, word of mouth is the best.
That's right.
I mean, I close the difference on Google. So I have asked my families, depending on, of course, I've had one move in. I talked to the family for 20 seconds and that was like a really freak accident that I got that move in. But so of course it depends on the family, but ones that I've worked with for a long time and built that relationship, I just very nonchalantly say, if you could leave me a review, like based on my process, like give me some feedback. And then this allows me to reach more seniors and their families. That's my saying. And I send them the link, like via text. And if they review me, I don't have that many, but even with like, I don't know, I think I have 8 or 9 on St. Louis and I have some, but even on that now, if you search, like I'm in like St. Louis right now, if you search senior living near me or assisted living, I'm like on the first page. I'm second. So I'm getting calls from Google. The leads aren't nearly as good as
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. When I usually, because I'm not real high up on Google, but when I do get a Google lead, like I got one about a week and a half ago, man, they had already called all the communities. It was it's usually a nightmare for me when I get it from Google, but you still want to be there because that's where people are. Sometimes they verify who you are. Let's do this real quick, Brittany.
Yeah.
If you were speaking to someone who's just starting a business today, what are some things that you would encourage them to do?
Stay consistent. I mean, it gets tough with anything that you do. Like you say, mindset. Definitely stay consistent. If it doesn't seem like anything is moving, the next week you could have a ton moving. It takes a long time to build relationships, just like building friendships. This business is based off relationships with social workers, families, communities. So just building that. To give you an example, I know that I spoke with you about it. Remember that community that gave me a horrible hard time? That lady. So funny story. She emailed me 3 days ago telling me she had an opening. So you see how that the table's a little bit turned.
Right. I got an opening now.
I've moved in 3 people to that community. So I think she's realizing that I'm an actual business and an actual person at this point that has value. So I think it takes time. You're not always going to click with everybody. I think that's something, I mean, my age difference in this industry, I am young and I look younger than I probably am. So, you're not always going to click with everybody, but I've never had I've never had a bad thing come from doing outreach. Like I've never, that is the only bad experience that I've had. And as you see, it turned around and I'm getting told that she has open rooms now.
Beautiful.
So it just full circle. Yeah. I think that's just stay consistent. And little things add up big time.
Well, I remember I couldn't respond to you right away. I did a little bit later, but I think it was in December. I was driving down the road and I got a text. It was from you. And I think you said you were working with 7 families.
Yep.
I was like, she's a rock star, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's been pretty, some weeks are slower. I mean, it's all just, some weeks it's a little quiet and then the next week I'll get 5 families at once. So it's definitely grown significantly. Some of the independent livings, I have an agreement with a standalone. They're starting to give me leads that are moving out of their need to move.
Go back to say that again. I just talked to a student today. I mean, literally 45 minutes ago before I did a YouTube video and got online with you. I just told him that about independent. I would work that because go ahead, talk about the independence.
So there's a new independent living community. And she actually owned a placement agency, the marketing director. So we clicked immediately. She was in Arizona at one point. So she's the marketing director. So we were talking and I have people touring there. We have an agreement and I'm the only A Place for Mom approached them and they signed with me instead of A Place for Mom. But anyway, so
beautiful.
Yeah. So what she said was she's starting to give me some leads because they are very strictly independent. They don't take anything borderline. They want to keep it very, they have golf carts for the seniors. So their environment is strictly all independent. They don't want anything borderline. So when people are starting to decline in their health or need help with ADLs, they are starting to feed me some leads to move to assisted living. Another thing with communities, I've had one relationship where they're very expensive. So she's had people come in, can't afford it. So she's given them my card. So it's also, that was an AL. So it's an ALF, but they're very high end. So when you start building those relationships, you can not ask, but, be mindful, but start working that a little bit further once you start, again, value, like you said, like reciprocating each other's value.
So what would you say that particular independent community was the key to establishing that relationship? Is it something you said, something you did?
So I think I did have a little bit of an entrance given. She knew what I did because she was very one-on-one. She owned a placement agency. So I had an in. I will tell you, before she started, I tried to get into this community multiple times. I called and called and called. No one ever returned my phone calls. Come to find out, they're new and they weren't getting back to anybody's phone calls, I don't think, at that point, even leads. Yeah. So I know you've probably experienced some of that. I think it was the fact that we're one-on-one opposed to A Place for Mom. A Place for Mom was wanting 120%. I went with, our 80 or my 80, but it was more so, and the people that own that community, it's a large community, but it's family owned, which is kind of rare. It's not held by a big corporation. So they knew nothing about business or placement agencies. So I'm their first and now only placement agency. So I kind of really had to pitch myself on what we do because they were completely green on the thing. But so I think, I don't know. I think it was just kind of a mix of her knowing what we do and we clicked pretty instantly.
Yeah, it's I firmly believe, like, I go after people for the most part. I try to identify the ideal person in everything. My ideal resident, my ideal person I want to, market or network with, because there's people that are not going to like me and I'm not going to like them. And quite honestly, I know it's all business, but I just like, who cares? So I go after like-minded individuals, people that are similar to me, maybe in personality, and then like business, very similar. You mentioned earlier, maybe home health or a hospice company, something like that. Real estate agents that are into the game with seniors. They got that certain designation. I forgot what it's called. Was it CR or something?
Yeah, there's a CRFM or something. There's something they can go get. We could, financial advisors. That's another one. Actually, I have a financial advisor, been in the business for 20 years. All of his clients are our perfect target market. So
absolutely. Well, hey, Brittany, I won't keep you any longer. It's been a joy. I appreciate you so much. I really do. You and Trey are just wonderful people. You're doing a great job. I love all my students, but man, just to hear what you and Trey have done over the last 12 months has just been short of amazing. And I just kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
And I really get an inward satisfaction knowing you guys are doing it the right way. You're not just giving out leads to all these communities and they're bombarding the seniors and their families, all these calls. You're doing it the right way, and your business is growing. You got 2 agencies. I wouldn't be surprised in about 5 years you got about 3 more. I don't.
Next, give me I'm ready to be by the beach.
There you go, Brittany.
No, but really, I couldn't have done it without you, though. You filled in the gaps. When I reached out to you, I did have my website already. I did have a little, but I was watching you blindly before I contacted you. But no, I really couldn't. Even just the gaps. You can. We could have gone in a blind, all of us could have, but just having those little gaps or everything. Honestly, someone that's not in the industry, I think you're essential on, getting that information to do it the right way.
Oh, thanks, Brittany. I really appreciate it. Hey, I'm always here for you. If you have a question, you guys know that. And Brittany, you have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed that. I love talking to my students. And if you're out there and you want to get on and talk to me and tell me a little about what you're doing. Just kind of a casual conversation. I know some people are a little more intimidated by getting on a live and doing a video and things like that. But it's, I want to encourage you to keep getting your message out, keep getting your company's name out, build and develop your brand. That is the key to success. Knowing that, like Brittany said, there's going to be some days it's going to be kind of slow. Then all of a sudden there's other days you just get bombarded with people left and right. You know, like I told that story of her in December had 7, and then she went through a couple of days and it was a little bit light, and then all of a sudden, boom, she got slammed again. It's kind of the way my business goes. My wife and I talk about this. You know, there'll be certain days, and maybe it would be a whole week, and you're only working with a couple people, and then next week it's like there's not enough hours in a day to accommodate everybody. You make it work, you make it happen because you have a passion for this industry, but you need to keep getting your name out there. So I encourage you to do some of the things Brittany has done. Continue to reach out to social workers, discharge planners. It may be difficult, maybe hard, but you know what? If it's difficult and hard, that means a lot of other people in the industry are not going to do it either. So you can set yourself apart if you just go ahead and go the extra mile. I'm telling you, there's not a whole lot of traffic on that extra mile. People are somewhere else. So